broadcasting live 4 days a week worldwide
from the sunny beaches of Southern California.
This is ExtremeHealthRadio.com.
G'day, this is Joe Cross from the movie Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead and from RebootWithJoe.com. I'm on Extreme Health Radio with Justin and Kate, and we are juicing up the world.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us on this episode of Extreme Health Radio. What is this? Episode 190.
Wow.
Is that right?
I don't know. Let me look.
Yeah, 190, yep. And this is 12. I'm surprised it's not 12/12/2013.
I know, right?
This is actually 12/15/2013.
12/15/13.
December 15th.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah.
This is really going by fast.
I know. I'm not ready for it.
What should the number be? It should be episode 199, actually. It's based on how your life's been going.
That's true. My life just doesn't stop with the numbers, does it?
It doesn't. December 15th, 2013. And what did you say? We're 10 days away from Christmas.
Oh, man.
We have done zero Christmas shopping.
That's not true.
Oh.
That was true until this morning at 6:30.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You've done a little bit.
A little Secret Santa. Squirreling around, doing my own thing.
What are you doing going around at 6:30?
It's none of your business.
Wow.
Mister.
Wow.
Step back, bucko. You'll find out in 10 days.
Step back, bucko. I like that.
Oh.
You'll find out in 10 days. Well, I've done zero shopping myself.
I know. We haven't had the time.
I know. It's been so busy.
I know. This is by far the craziest. I mean, people say Christmas time's crazy. Everybody stresses out. I'm always thinking every year, but this is by far, for sure, the craziest year I've ever had. As far as time.
As far as lack thereof, right?
Lack thereof, right.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Time is just going so fast.
It's a bummer because I love this season.
I know, and we're getting a heat wave right now, aren't we?
It's like 80 degrees outside. I just walked Maggie through the park, and it's like hot and Santa Ana winds. We get this thing where the wind's just blowing, and it's like a balmy, hot wind.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder why those are happening, because normally those happen. We get like this Indian summer where that happens in October, and you get the fires and stuff. And
I know.
But
can we just have a Christmas? That'd be great. A little upset about it, actually.
You're a little upset, yeah.
Can you tell?
Little upset. Well, we've got a great show for you guys today. Got lots of listener questions, a lot to get to. We got some good fun facts with Kate. Got a couple good news headlines hopefully we can get to. Like I said, this is episode number 190. So if you want to check out the show notes, Kate will be taking notes. Thank you, Kate, for that.
You're welcome.
And yeah, if you go to extremehealthradio.com/190, and you can check out the show notes and the links. We'll be probably talking about lots of different links. I'm going to do a basket there.
Whoa,
I almost
you missed
made the basket. So yeah, check out that show page, extremehealthradio.com/190, and you can learn more about the show. And also, if you'd like to join the show live, we're now live. You can go to extremehealthradio.com/live, and hopefully you guys are going into the chat room. And we also can take questions as well on Skype. So if you want to call us from your phone, any phone will do, at 949-505-9585. That will come in to us through Skype, and you'll be able to do that. Or you could go on to Skype itself, and I think our ID is Extreme Health Radio. That's our ID. I don't know if you need to add us as a contact before you call us. I'm not sure how Skype works, but yeah.
Whatever works.
Whatever floats your boat. And if you'd like to support us on Amazon, if you're doing a lot of Christmas holiday season shopping, that's a good way to support us. If you just go to extremehealthradio.com/Amazon, that will be redirected. That will redirect you to Amazon.com, and then you can bookmark that page in your browser and use that every time you make a purchase there on Amazon, It doesn't have to be health related. You can buy anything, and that will help support our show, and we'll get a little commission, and that will be very, very
helpful.
Helpful.
Are we live?
You know what? I just got a little notification saying that there was a problem, but now there's not. So I had to click a little box, but now...
I was going to ask you because it says loading.
Ah, does it?
Uh-huh.
I think we just came in live right now.
Okay.
I think.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, right?
Well, for anybody who missed anything, we're here and we're on.
And we're on. You know, I went to bed at 1 o'clock last night.
Why in the world?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Well, Friday night I was out,
Partying with the teenagers?
yeah, I was out partying.
Wild, raging teenage parties.
Well, we didn't get home, I think, till 11, wasn't it? Because we did some shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Mother's and...
We did. We went to the health food store.
So, yeah, we got... after you went to bed, I did the sauna and the rebounder.
Oh, yeah, that takes time.
Yeah, so I did 15 minutes on the rebounder. I had missed a couple days ago, and I was going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to do a half hour that late because I thought it'd take too much time. And so I did 15 minutes, and then I did 30 minutes in the sauna.
Well, you were probably watching a documentary of something of the alien sort, maybe Ancient Aliens again.
Ancient Aliens.
You loved that one.
That was good.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good movie.
What did I watch?
Anunnaki Love. I should be a documentary filmmaker.
Anunnaki Love. It sounds like a porno. It could
with
be
the
like
Anunnaki.
with alien porn. Wow.
I'm just kidding.
That does not sound too appealing. You got 35-foot aliens.
Don't even go there.
Oh, man. That is hilarious.
I think I'd be a really good, hang out and name things kind of person, though. I'd be the person that you'd want to name nail polishes or ice cream flavors.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at coming up with names, actually.
You imagine walking into a ice cream parlor and I'd like one scoop of Anunnaki Love, please.
Anunnaki Crunch, please.
Crunch bar. I was actually watching Joe Rogan and Graham Hancock, but right on this similar path.
Okay.
And it was a great interview Joe Rogan had with Graham Hancock, who's the author of not the 12th Planet, but I forget. Graham Hancock's written a ton of books. War of the Gods, I think. But
I almost put John Hancock down.
John Hancock, nice. Yeah, that was really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that kind of stuff.
Mine's still loading.
Is it
Is yours on?
Let's see here.
I just want to make sure people can get us.
Technical difficulties. It says that we're on.
Okay.
What does it say loading? Is it the chat room or is it the...
No, it's just the Mixler. Just loading. It's not even spinning.
Can you refresh the browser maybe?
I already have 3 times.
And it's not working, huh?
No.
Ooh,
Bummer.
That's not good. Well...
We'll carry on.
We'll carry on because it says on my end, it says we're live.
Okay, I hope that's true.
So we'll find out soon. We'll find out. Yeah, I went to bed, so I was watching... I find that it helps to watch a documentary while sitting in the sauna.
Makes the time go by a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you hit the point of no return with this, until you start sweating and you're just really darn hot, it's then that you need a distraction in order to make it through, and then you could sit in there forever, I feel like.
Yeah.
When you stop focusing on being hot.
Yeah.
And then when the sweat starts coming, that's always a relief too, but it's that in-between time.
It's funny when it takes a while for you to sweat, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Like recently, last week, there was a lot of cold snap here in California. For us, yeah. Cold snap, it was 50 degrees.
So cold.
No, it really was cold. I mean, it was probably...
Yeah, it's all relative.
40s, low 40s or something.
Yeah, when I go in the sauna in the morning, I don't sweat as much. When I do in the evening, my blood's going, I'm moving, and then I am a lot easier of a sweater.
Yeah. I find, too, that if I jump on the rebounder and then go in the sauna, I'm kind of warm already. Mm-hmm. So that helps. You know what I have not been doing, though?
What?
Is the skin brush. I got to get back into the skin brushing.
That makes me feel bad. I haven't either.
You haven't either?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's such a good thing.
There's so many daily practices that we do that I get confused.
You can only do so many in a day.
I know.
Otherwise, you're skin brushing, then you're in the sauna, then you're doing the rebounder, then all of a sudden you just don't have any time.
Yeah. I know. It's true.
There's so many things to do.
You keep talking because my battery is about to die on my laptop, so I'll be right back.
Oh, you're going to get the old
battery.
The old cord.
I am.
So we got a good show for you guys. We have, I got last night, Kate and I got a brand new enzyme here, and I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of this, but it's by Brenda Watson, and she actually contacted us quite a while ago. We should have her on the show, but she actually contacted us a while ago to write an article for our website, and she created this enzyme called Digest More, and it's got plant enzymes and L-glutamine, which is awesome because I haven't really seen any enzymes that has L-glutamine in it. It's got marshmallow root, N-acetylglucosamine. And so it's pretty cool stuff. And I was asking the guy who works there at the store about what is his favorite enzyme. And we usually take one called, from the Now?
The Now brand?
The Now brand. And this one, he said that so many people come in there and they actually try all the enzymes, and what they end up on inevitably is this Digest More from Renew Life. And it's pretty expensive. It was about $20 for, let's see, 90.
I think $24.
Was it? 90 capsules. But you only take one per meal because it's so strong. And I was comparing all of the amounts of the ingredients, like the protease. I think on the Now brand, it was 5,000. I'm not sure what HUT is, but this has 20,000
of those
of protease.
oh, right.
And bromelain had, I think, 4,000, and this one has 260,000. So it's really, really, really. It's got lactase, cellulase, invertase.
I don't even know what that is.
Amylase. I think amylase is I forget what that, but that's 9,000 DU. And the other one, I think, was like 1,000 or something really small. So this is pretty cool. You guys should try it out. Digest More from Renewal Life. Interesting. Relieves occasional gas, bloating, and indigestion. Soothes and nourishes the digestive tract. Digests proteins, carbs, fat, and dairy. So I ran right out right after this and drank a whole cup of milk.
I'm sure you didn't.
No, I did not.
Oh.
But yeah, pretty good stuff. Have you took one this morning?
I took one this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I'm sure as I continue to take them, I'll notice a difference, hopefully, compared to the other ones.
And speaking of digestion, last night we got a raw probiotic called Rejuvelac. I'm not sure if you've been in the health field for any amount of time. I'm sure you know what Rejuvelac is. I've known about it. Gosh, it takes me so long to do stuff. I've known about this for 10 years.
Have you?
Since 2003. And I thought, I got to try that one day. 10 years later, here we are. 11 years later.
Better late than never.
Isn't that crazy?
What's it made out of?
It's made out of like a fermented wheat berry or something like that. They're big on this, and at the Hippocrates Institute, they take Rejuvelac. It helps support immune function, improves digestion, destroys harmful bacteria and the growth of friendly bacteria, and detoxifies and cleanse your system. Drink 4 to 8 ounces daily as needed.
4 to 8 ounces a day. That's that whole thing.
This thing is 8 ounces.
Well, there you go.
Maybe you can drink. You can't drink one of those.
How expensive was that? Was that expensive product?
This was $3 or something.
Okay, well, I guess it's cheaper than a latte.
45 billion amount of lactobacillus acidophilus, replenishes non-dairy source, organic, and it's family owned and operated since 1980, dedicated to making quality, all-natural, organic health food products since filtered water, organic.
Do you have to put that in the refrigerator?
Yeah, it says keep refrigerated.
Okay.
But it's only been out for a little while.
Okay.
Rejuvelac. Have you guys taken Rejuvelac, I wonder?
Comment on the show below.
Yeah, comment on this show. And I have to say, Kate, thank you for the Power Minis.
You're welcome.
From the Milk and Honey Inc.
Okay. You're welcome.
That is, you got me for my birthday some crystals.
I did. I got you a pocket full of crystals.
Yeah, pocket full of rocks.
I did. I got you some rocks.
I know. So you
what a gift.
Yeah, that was cool though.
No, I know.
Been learning about crystals lately. Did you pick all of these like intentionally, or did they just come as a little packet?
Oh no, I handpicked them.
You handpicked them?
There was ones that I saw on that list right there that they did not have that I would have gotten you, but they had those and I thought they were cool. So,
which ones? Which one on that list would you have gotten me that they didn't have?
I would have gotten you
because I just thought you didn't think I needed any of the other ones.
Oh no.
Like love and tranquility, connectedness, or flexibility.
No. I would have got you self-discovery, which is Amazonite.
They were out of self-discovery?
They were out of self-discovery. They were lacking that.
That's never good.
Protection, which is black agate.
Protection.
I would have got you health, which is blue goldstone.
Wow.
And I think I would have got you Botswana agate, which is adaptation. Adaptation, because you don't adapt very easy.
Because I don't adapt very well.
You don't adapt well.
I've been adapting pretty good lately.
No, you have. I'm just making a joke.
No, I like that, but you're right. I don't, by nature, I don't adapt very well. When plans change,
that's true. Yeah,
things happen.
That's actually true. I was making a joke, but you're right.
It is true.
But you've been a lot better.
What is it? Aventurine, which is luck. Wow.
What ones did I get you? I got you awareness, right?
Yeah, you got me picture Jasper, used to stimulate creative visualization.
I thought that one was cool.
We're going to need that in the float tank.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Creates harmony, balance, and positive energy flow, especially in business pursuits. Wow.
Have we talked about the float tank?
We have not.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Releases knowledge into consciousness. I like that.
Better have that rock in your pocket in the float tank.
That's right. Red jasper. Fertility. Yay, 2014. I like that. That was good.
I did write that.
It encourages an active and fulfilling sex life. It's a stone of fertility, inspires a positive, joyful attitude, and it provides the energy to take creative action, enhances dream recall. That is cool.
I didn't even see that part.
Look at that. You didn't know I needed help with my dreams.
Oh, I know you need help with your dreams.
I need big time help.
I own your dreams.
I own your dreams. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember all your dreams, don't you?
Not all, but many, yes.
Speaking of dreams, I had a dream last night.
What was it?
I never remember dreams really.
No, I know.
You and I and our friend Paul, my friend Paul, from high school, went to South Africa and visited Lee and Ryan, our friends in South Africa, in Durban.
Really?
Yeah, and we were staying in this hotel, and we had our own room, and he gave us like a futon mat to lay on the ground, and it was weird because he set our bed up like the way we have our bed set up at home here. And
with the head raised, you mean?
Yeah, we walked in the hotel. It was like a hotel, sort of like this big high rise right on the beach. And we walked in and we saw he was sitting on the couch and Paul was there. And we're so excited because
weird.
We thought, wow. I have no idea. Maybe we need to go to South Africa.
Maybe it's a sign.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit different than the dream I had about the taxi driver singing.
Our taxi driver in Florida?
I don't know who it was. It could have been.
Okay.
But yeah, we were talking to him. My friend and I were Cherie were in the back of a taxi. And he was singing. And he was horrible. He was singing like some 80s love song on the radio. And she
like Wedding Crashers?
Yes.
Or no, Wedding Singer?
Wedding Singer. And she looks at me and she goes, oh, taxi driver equals, she wrote it on a piece of paper. Taxi driver =, not a big American Idol contender.
That's what Cherie wrote.
Yeah.
Nice.
Isn't that funny?
Wow.
In my dream.
What is that?
I don't know. And it was so real. And I remember taking a pen and writing back to her on the paper and passing it back. And I wrote, definitely the first one to be voted off the island.
Nice.
Poor taxi guy was just trying to make people happy with his song. And
with his bad voice.
It was very real.
Well, at least that's better than being chased by the IRS or being
a demon
or some sort of
someone holding a knife to your back, pushing you off a cliff. I've had them all.
So you also got me snow quartz.
I did get you snow quartz.
Are you saying I need to be more focused?
Yes.
Stimulates the brain functions, helping us to focus, concentrate, and control our thoughts, intentions, and actions.
Correct.
balances our emotions. Correct.
Correct.
And you got me soda light?
Sure.
Logic. Oh. I got fuzzy logic.
You got fuzzy logic.
Don't tell that to George Bush.
That's right.
Unites the logical with the spiritual. Encourages rational thought, objectivity, and truth. Brings truth to communications. Encourages honest emotions.
D, all of the above. That's what that will do for you.
That's and you got me tiger eye.
I did get you tiger eye.
Not tiger balm.
And not eye of the tiger.
Not eye of the tiger.
Tiger balm.
Let's see. Tiger eye. Harmony. Helps to unite one's will and desires. Brings ideas into reality. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that one was cool.
I got nothing against bringing ideas into reality. Enhances integrity, willpower, practicality, and correct use of power. Wow. I just can't imagine how these stones can do all this, but I'll carry them in my pocket and hope for the best.
And see what happens. You better take the fertility one out, though, because you might be walking along the street and just have anybody's baby.
I could get the girl across the street pregnant.
Just by walking by with a stone. You better watch that stone, mister.
Unakite.
Unakite.
You ready for this one?
Did I give you that one?
You sure did.
Oh, sorry, I don't remember.
Vision.
Oh.
Opens the third eye.
I remember that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Helps balance and integrate the mind, body, and soul, and gives a feeling of completeness. Promotes good health during pregnancy.
Really?
Wow.
You're not going to be pregnant.
You're looking at like Arnold Schwarzenegger here. And what's that guy's name?
Yeah.
Being pregnant.
What was that?
Where the man gets pregnant.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Wasn't there a guy in the news recently who
a couple years ago
turned himself into a woman and got pregnant?
Yeah.
Is that real? That actually happened. Or I'm not just
No, I remember that story. I don't know. I think
he was on the cover of Time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Or no, People Magazine, maybe Time.
And there's a picture of him with his arms, his hands on his stomach, 9 months pregnant kind of thing.
Right, but I think the thing was he was always a woman. He started out as a woman, and then he technically was a woman, but it had some stuff done, and so he was still able to carry the baby like a woman.
But then he had a beard or something during pregnancy.
Totally.
Right? Because he had like facial hair, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who's this guy with a goatee?
And a baby.
And a baby.
Yeah, I remember that article.
Maybe he's been carrying Unakite.
Maybe. Stop carrying Unakite.
Stop carrying Unakite. So I have to tell... Okay, gosh, man. Okay, we got to get into your story. First, after the break, we got to talk about the flotation tank.
Okay.
And then we have to talk about your experience with 9 3/4.
No.
No?
No, we can't.
We can't do that?
That's a blog post.
Oh.
Maybe. I'll think about it.
Okay. Think about it during the break? You think that's a possibility?
Yes.
Wow.
You have to run these things by me before you just blurt them out.
Well, gosh.
I need a stone for anti-blurt.
Not an anti-bloat stone?
No.
An anti-blurt.
Anti-blurt.
Wow. That's pretty strong.
Just kidding.
I like it. Yeah. Okay, guys, we'll be right back right after this break. So a few years ago when I was working for this company, it was a really small company, and I had been wanting a Vitamix blender for years and years and years, but they're so expensive, and I just hadn't saved the money at that time to get one. And so as a Christmas bonus, they knew that I loved the Vitamix, so they got me a Vitamix, the 5000 blender. And that thing is so incredible. It was right at the beginning of my raw food journey, and I was using it about 3 times a day, really. Today, I still use it about twice a day to make blended smoothies and things like that. But the Vitamix blender is really, really great. And if you go to extremehealthradio.com/Vitamix, that will redirect you over to there, and then you'll be able to purchase that, and we'll get a commission for your order. And you'll also get free shipping, too. So that'll be great for you if you're interested in saving about $25 on the shipping. And with the Vitamix, you can make sauces and dips and bread. You could make ice cream with it. I've done a lot of ice cream. You can just make the most incredible things. And it's my favorite because it's got a tamper on it. And you can put ice and frozen berries and avocado and some honey and things like that, and with no water at all, and you have that tamper, and you can make the most amazing ice creams with it. So the Vitamix is my favorite blender of choice, and if you're in the market to buy one, I would greatly encourage you to do so if you have the money for it. And if you do it through us, through extremehealthradio.com/Vitamix, I'll get a little commission for it. it, and you'll get free shipping. So it works out for you and for us too. So if you're in the market, please do it through us. That'd be really cool. And you're going to love this thing when you get it. You're going to fall in love with it. You'll never go back to a regular blender again. So check that out, extremehealthradio.com/Vitamix, and I hope you enjoy it.
100% listener supported. Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join the show now on Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. Hello. That's 949-505-9585.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say I wanted to give you an anti-blurts tone.
I feel very bad about that.
No, you don't.
You want to blurt me?
I want to blurt you.
You can't blurt me.
No one can blurt me.
Nobody can blurt me.
No, but I will talk about my experience.
Yeah. So wait.
I'll blog about it later too, just my deeper thoughts on it. But
Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy.
Who's that?
Remember that from Saturday Night Live?
No, I don't.
He's always.
You're old.
Remember that from 1960?
You need an age stone. You found a youth stone.
He was always saying, "I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And doggone it,
people like me." Is that who he was?
Deep Thoughts.
That was Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I thought that was like the guy that was like, "We'll leave the lights on for you, motel, whatever" commercial.
Oh, Tom Bodett.
I thought that was somebody like him.
Tom Bodett.
Anyway.
So you had a crazy experience recently, right? Talk about synchronicities. You got.
Yeah.
I tell you, there's something going on with you right now. You're.
Mm-hmm.
You've got weird stuff happening every single day. You probably have.
I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just comes down to that. No, you probably have like between 10 and 15 strange occurrences happening to you every single day.
I really do.
Small stuff, but
I really do.
That's not an exaggeration. Maybe 8 to 12 per day.
For sure.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Something's definitely going on with me.
Okay, let's break this.
I'm still trying to decide what I think it is, but it's interesting.
Let's go ahead and break down this 9 3/4 situation you're dealing with.
Okay, so
you've got on the table here.
Okay, on the table here.
Yeah.
So 2 days ago,
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking Maggie. No, I'm not. I walked her in the morning, and then I thought, I need to, during my silent retreat.
Yes.
A month ago, last month, I decided that when I came home, I was going to make sure I set time aside just for me, just for my walking, my own self, without the dog, with my iPod on. I was going to listen to a lot of the Hay House Summit things that I've been listening to that I really value, but I feel like I just don't make enough time to do that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I headed out the door at I think it was 7:30 or something like that in the morning.
Which, by the way, is so important for you to get some time to yourself. And I think a lot of women too, and guys too, but
we don't do it.
I think it's mainly a woman thing where it's so critically important to give back to yourself, because women are so wired.
I know.
To give. And then in your job, which is going to be ending in 2014.
Thank you.
Knock on wood.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. You give.
Yeah.
And so it's so important to have some time to yourself,
Well, thank you for saying that to all the women and just people in the world, because I know, and you've been so encouraging for me to do that, because man, if I needed it, and it's been way better year. 2013 has been a great year as far as soul care and having that time, but I still realize that I am very much lacking that. So
yeah, because you probably pour out more than that's in your cup,
Oh, for sure.
Every single day. And same with probably a lot of women. If you're listening to this, I'm sure you can relate to that. Mm-hmm. Where you're just giving. You're always concerned about if your partner's okay, and if
your kids are okay, if your job's going well, if the groceries are in the refrigerator, if the house is clean. I mean, it's just hard. Yeah,
you have so many things that you're just giving, and you're never giving back to yourself.
Yeah.
That's so important. So I'm so glad you did that.
Yeah, thank you. Me too.
Yeah.
So I think I headed out of the house around 7:33, because that's probably what time it was.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know that.
I know, right? I should have looked. And I headed just right. I hadn't made it more than 200 feet. And my iPod is low on battery. It's going to die. It's in the red. Oh, brother. So I come back. I'm thinking in my head, I can just continue on with this walk without it and be in my own head. Or, gosh darn it, I really want to listen to the end of this interview I've been listening to and start another one, you know? So I come back up the stairs and I yell into you, hey, can I borrow your iPod? Do you have the Hay House Summit on there? And you said, yes, you do. So I took your iPod and you set me up to the one I was listening to. I had 5 more minutes of the one left. So I got a lot out of it. It was talking about something very specific that I was going through at that time and really met me where I was at that morning. Right. So I was attempting to listen to the last 5 minutes of that when just total chaos ensues around me. We live at a very loud area in a downtown, and it is super frustrating. So not only did I leave the house at the wrong time, what I thought was the wrong time, but we live by a school. So not only are there dogs, bikers, people going to work, just mayhem outside.
Complete.
I feel like I live in New York City.
Yeah,
and we're in a little beach town.
Yeah.
But there's buses, there's kids with violins, there's like moms with 18 kids holding their hands, all making a line across the street. There's crossing guards. It's just nuts.
There's a big line of kids, Sandy Hook style, right?
Sandy Hook style.
It is the 1 year anniversary. I had to bring it up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, well. Thoughts for another day.
Yeah, thoughts for another day.
So I'm headed down. Finally, I had to turn off my iPod like 4 different times, press pause, because I couldn't even hear. It's in my ears and I can't hear it.
Wow.
And I turned up the volume all the way and then I'm blasting my ears out. But I thought, this is ridiculous. What does a girl have to do in order to listen to something? Like, just find some peace.
Then you're getting upset and you're thinking, then you beat yourself up because you're getting upset about listening to something like the Hay House Summit.
This is supposed to keep me chill. This is supposed to remind me to not live this way.
It's like going into a meditation or yoga and you're just completely stressed and upset. You know?
Yeah, and mad at the world.
Yeah.
But as I'm trying to calm down, I'm breathing like exhaust from a bus, like a school bus. I might as well be sucking on the tailpipe. It was just like right into my lungs. There's smokers around. I mean, it was the most ridiculous morning. Yeah. So I'm thinking, I finally passed the school thinking, should I just be done? I should just go home. I'm giving up. Like, this is not meant to be. I don't have time. I'm frustrated and whatever. But I keep going. I finished up the interview. I got something out of it. I head around a corner and it becomes more still and I'm headed toward the beach. And I planned on getting a tea at a local little coffee shop area. And I ran into a friend there and I thought, okay, I got my tea, I got my hot tea in my hands. It's freezing outside. I will attempt to start over. So I take a deep breath and I press play and I'm like, I'm just going to let whatever one comes next in the sequence. And yours is on random, by the way, correct?
Yes, mine was on random and yours was on, set to play these things in order.
Right. So on my iPod, had I taken it, I would have just listened to the next one on mine, which wouldn't have been the next one on yours, I doubt.
No.
So it starts playing and it's Marianne Williamson and she's being interviewed. And I listened to this on my silent retreat while driving along and really liked it. And remembered I liked it, but I didn't really have any specific things that stuck out. But I thought, I've already heard this one. I'll listen to it again. I like her. It might encourage me.
Yeah.
So I'm starting her and I'm like about a minute into it and I'm just kind of, starting to get my groove back on and feel peaceful. And I'm walking through this neighborhood and I look over and there's a car parked in someone's driveway and it had a round sticker and it had the number 9 3/4. So it's 9 and then 3/4, like in a baking book, in a cookbook, 9 3/4.
No, like cup of flour.
Yeah.
9 3/4 cups of flour.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I see it and I'm like, that is really strange. I'm used to seeing around here, we have a bunch of 26.2, 13.1. All the people that run marathons and half marathons like to post it on their car. So
this guy apparently ran 9 3/4 miles.
And that's what I thought. I'm like, good for you, buddy. Better than I could do.
Yeah.
But 9 3/4, I'm like, what does that mean? Like how kind of, I was like, I don't know if it's stupid or it's just weird, but it stuck with me. So I'm walking along going, and I kind of just, I thought about it for a good 30 seconds and I thought that is just the most random sticker I've ever seen. It had no meaning to me. So I make it down about 5 minutes into my walk and I'm going along the beach and Marianne Williamson's still talking and she is telling a story to the guy that's interviewing her about something. I don't remember what it was. And she says, I'm not going to get it right, but basically summarizing what she says, there's that part in Harry Potter where, what is it? He shows up at his train station 9 3/4. And I just stopped. Like my mouth opened and I'm like, what? Did I hear that right? So your iPod, I actually didn't know I was trying to like back it up to hear it again because I was like, what did she just say? But I couldn't. So she kept talking and said that she goes, yeah. And it was just like she didn't even need to mention this for some, it was just like an off the cuff comment she made. And she goes, yeah, I think it was, whatever it was, 9 3/4. Let's say 9 3/4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now I'm paying attention. And she said basically in which I never seen this Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. She
said basically Harry is going to school, to the Hogwarts College School of Magic or whatever. And he takes all his stuff down to the train station, and he has a pass for a platform to leave from the station 9 3/4. And 9 3/4 doesn't exist apparently in real life. And it only existed to the people who believed in it, that there would be a door and that it would be opened for them.
So the people that did believe that it was there for them. And
it was
the people that didn't believe that thing never existed.
Right. So people thought, so I pulled up the clip on YouTube, just that spot, I looked up 9 3/4 Harry Potter and watched the 2-minute clip. The 2-minute and 11-second clip, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah. So.
Shocking.
So it shows him, and I had never seen this part of the movie, but he's all packed up and he goes down to the train station. He has a little note that says, I'm leaving from 9 3/4. He asks the train conductor or someone walking by, hey, where is this? And the guy laughs and thinks he's being smart aleck and goes, there's 9 and there's 10. There's no 9 3/4. And he shakes his head and walks away. And then Harry starts looking and he sees all these other kids going to the school, filtering in with their little carts of luggage and things. And one by one, they kind of line up and they charge forward into a brick wall, just totally charge it uninhibited.
So they run? Is that the deal?
They run and they transform, and they're able to go into this other dimension through this brick wall. So it had to take a lot of trust and a lot of faith that there was something on the other side. And then the camera pans to the other side where there's a train station with the platform 9 3/4,
really?
Where the magical train takes off.
Wow, what a crazy... Imagine the trust you'd have to run full speed into a brick wall.
Right. So this has brought up so many things. I go, that is not coincidental to me. I mean, when have I ever seen or heard that number? I mean, it was too weird.
That is crazy.
That's brought up all those kinds of things in the last few days. I've been soaking on that and trying to make sense of it all, like what that means in my life, what that means, what am I supposed to get from that story? And
so do you think that
I will be blogging about it?
So maybe in the blog post, you're going to talk about maybe what that brick wall means for you?
I think
kind of thing?
Maybe what the brick wall means for me and what probably going a little bit into the depth of what Marianne Williamson was talking about, more like believing it's all in your belief system. If you believe it, it will exist, kind of thing.
Right.
And I'm trying to figure out what I'm not believing and trusting in my life to happen that I think could if I ran through that wall.
Wow.
So that's just some ideas, along with that same day, Marianne Williamson in that interview was talking about A Course in Miracles, which is a book I've been probably only heard about in the last 6 months. I've been, it's come to my attention. So I felt like that also was the way that I needed to, I felt like it was telling me, you need to read The Course in Miracles. Because I've listened to so many of those Hay House interviews where they talk about it, and it's just life-changing for a lot of people. So that was something that came out of that for me. And then that night we go to dinner with some friends, and we were sitting down, and my friend Jessica, she mentioned it just off the cuff, like, oh, in A Course in Miracles. And I go, oh, my mouth dropped open, and I told her, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this is the 3rd time today that's come up. And I told her about my 9 3/4 story, and it was just a crazy weird day. So if anything, I'm getting the book. I hope to get it for Christmas, hint, hint. And, and I'll go from there.
Wow, very subtle there.
I know. I'm pretty subtle. I'm a pretty subtle person.
Isn't that crazy though that we talked about that? And I mean, how many people have read that book? I've never read that book. I've heard about it for years, but I've never read it. And probably, like we talked about driving home, there's probably one person in a 10 square mile radius that has read that book, and you happen to be sitting with her, and she brought it up during that.
And she brought it up.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's just like one small example of what's been happening. So I actually went back and took a picture of that sticker too, because I just wanted to know I wasn't crazy, because it was all too weird to me.
Oh, nice.
So
are you going to put that on your blog post?
Heck yeah. Yep.
Nice. I like that.
Isn't that crazy? It's been a weird, cool week.
Yeah, that is, it's so interesting when you have things like that happen. And it's not only just the numbers for you lately. Like, you're looking at all kinds of crazy numbers, but it's not just that. It's all kinds of like just random experiences that you've been having. It's like, I don't even know what to say about it.
I don't know what to make of it, but I do know, I just figured out when we were talking right now that the doors are opening and shutting properly in my life right now. I'm kind of stepping back. Like, we've been looking for a new place to live for a year. Mm-hmm. Nothing has happened. And then I saw a place that just looked like our dream. Mm-hmm. Where, a little bit more than we could probably afford at this point. But I was like, okay, maybe if I just trust and knock on the door, it'll be opened, kind of thing. So it had been up for a week. And then I finally said, you and I talked a little bit about if we'd be willing to even entertain that move. And so I wrote the guy, and it was taken down. Like an hour later, it had been taken by somebody. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to call the number. I'm not going to try to finagle this. I'm just going to let that door close.
Right.
And another brick wall will come up with, something, another way to go through it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I wonder what it is, because each person probably has their own brick wall. Mm-hmm. And looking at it and trying to figure out what that brick wall is for you, and how your belief system has to be there before you make the decision to run through it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't take the action of running through something like that without first knowing that
right,
that you're gonna transform and go right through it. Because if you have any doubt, then what's the point of trying to, butt your head against this brick wall and, trying to make something work when it's not supposed to work. It's not what your life is supposed to be doing. Maybe it's a business idea or something, or some path in life. And that you might be talented in that area, but you're not necessarily passionate about that area. So why run through or try to run through that brick wall filled with a mind filled with doubt,
No, you're right. And I think the knowing that you were talking about is happening as I'm releasing control. Mm-hmm. And that's where I go, okay, that's what I don't know what it was about, but I know it wasn't meant to be. Or
how do you mean releasing?
I know there's something better.
How do you mean releasing control? Like,
I'm not trying to, I'm letting things open and close, these doors, without trying to finagle or trying to be like super bummed on something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I really wanted that place to live, I would have called up. I mean, I wanted it, but I felt like that door was shut for me. Why am I going to pursue something and push something that might not be the path we could take if we just waited and something came up? It's like, I used to just I'm going to charge it and make this thing happen. If I want it, I'm going to make it work. Mm-hmm.
Which sometimes could happen. And then you realize after you do that was the wrong choice. You should just let it go.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I'm letting things just become doors and shut and open accordingly, I guess. But
wow. Yeah. So we got to talk about the flotation tank.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. We have not done it yet, but I'm so excited to try it.
Are you going to post a link?
I will. So for those of you who don't know what the flotation tank is, or a float tank, they call them, it's also known as a sensory deprivation tank.
That just sounds scary.
That sounds a little strange.
A little bit scary.
But it's an incredible thing. So what it is you go into this, if you search in your area for float tank or sensory deprivation tank in your area, you'll probably find a place, because it's growing like wildfire.
Because how long have they been around?
I don't know. 10 years or so, but it's just really catching on now. And so I'm talking about it as someone who's never experienced it, but from all the research I've done online about it, it's an amazing thing where you go into this tank, and they're usually they can vary in size and shape, but they're usually, 6 or 8 feet tall, 6 or 8 feet wide, and maybe 9 or 10 feet long. And they're filled with about a foot of water.
Anunnaki style.
That's right.
Just kidding.
You go into the tank and there's an Anunnaki there. But you go into the tank and it's filled with 800 pounds of magnesium and salt. And so what happens is that you essentially float, like you lay there like you would in the Dead Sea, but it's got even more salt than a Dead Sea. So you go into this tank and you close the door behind you. And what they do is they heat the temperature of the water that you lay in to the same exact temperature of your body. And they also do the same with the air. And so you go in and you lay in this tank and you're floating. And so it's the only environment on Earth where your body's actually floating. There is no sense. There's no outside stimulus, and it's pitch black inside. And the door only opens your way, so you can always push it open if you're claustrophobic. And you lay in this tank, and when it's pitch black like that, you can't hear anything, you can't see anything, you can't smell anything, you can't feel anything. And it's the only time in your entire life that you don't have any outside stimulus. Because if you think about even right now, you can feel your back sitting in the chair. You can feel your butt sitting on the chair. We can see each other. You could do a meditation even, or a yoga. And no matter how in the zone you get, you're always going to be aware of your outside. You're aware of the temperature outside.
Right. Your hands are colder than your feet.
Exactly.
Sweating.
Your knees are starting to hurt because your legs are bent. So you're always there's no place on earth where you can't get away, or where you can get away from absolutely zero impulse, zero time in your life where you're have outside stimulus affecting you in some way.
Wow.
Except in these tanks. And so you go into these tanks and you have no idea where your body stops and where the salt where the salt water starts. And the same
Is it covering your whole body? Or are you like floating halfway underneath the
you're
surface?
floating halfway.
Okay.
So you can't drown. It's not deep enough to drown. And so you wear earplugs too. So there's no, salt water gets in your ear and that kind of thing. But the idea is that you have no idea where your body starts and ends.
Wow.
And your eyes can't see anything. You can't hear anything. You can't smell anything. All you are inside the tank is just your thoughts, just a mind.
So it's a think tank.
Yeah, it's a think. Hey, there you go.
Yeah?
But people do go in there and come and have these incredible, sometimes psychedelic experiences.
Ooh.
Sometimes a lot of people describe going into the tank and they completely lose track of time.
Huh.
And there was one guy who went in for an hour session, ended up staying in there 8 hours and didn't realize what happened.
Huh.
A lot of times people will talk about the first 20 minutes or so sitting in there. You start to think about all the crazy stuff in your life and how, you're dealing with stuff and who you really are. And sometimes, people will deal with their demons or they'll deal with darker sides of their personality. Some people don't, it all depends on.
Have you ever heard of anybody talking about it online, or what in your studies of this, or what your findings, that people have had like replays of their life, like new memories come up, or like
they have?
Really?
Yeah. People will go in there and almost do like lucid dreaming. And so it's almost like a meditation, like a transcendental meditation on steroids. And so
on ayahuasca. Yeah. People do that. They take ayahuasca and then go in the float tank.
Yeah. They'll take ayahuasca, or I've heard of people doing DMT.
What?
Which is dimethyltryptamine. And that's
dimethyl trip you out.
I know. Right?
That's got to be the weirdest situation.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Kudos for that one. That's
Thank
good.
you.
Some people will do a little bit of cannabis or something before they go in there. I wouldn't recommend any of these things. Personally, I wouldn't do any of that. But people do talk about that. And people have gone just with nothing and had incredible experiences where they spend the first few minutes dealing with their own demons, or possibly sometimes people have lucid dreams, or they'll go in there and they'll visualize things that they want to have happen in their life or
their health.
Yeah. And you're sitting in this beautiful magnesium and salt, and you're getting all these minerals, and it's incredibly relaxing to your skin. It helps to detoxify the body and pull toxins from the body. And some of these tanks have ozone that you can breathe in. And so you're going in there and you're sort of dealing with stuff on your own. And then some people, after that, their mind just goes, and it's almost like they just shoot to the center of the universe. And
what do you mean?
Like it's almost like astral travel or something, where people will have these experiences. And so I've heard about this stuff for so long, and I think, wow, that sounds so fun. And so wouldn't you know it, I type in float tank or something and our zip code and where we live, and there's one about 10 miles away for $60 an hour.
Gee, when are we getting our float on?
I know, we got to do it, right?
I can't wait, because I want to blog about our experiences.
Yeah. Have you guys ever done that? I'm curious if any of you have ever heard about it or done it. Because on just a purely physical level, it's incredibly detoxifying and relaxing. And it's the only time in your life that you're basically sitting in zero gravity, right? Because you're sitting there and your muscles, for the first time in your life, get a chance to completely relax. Because even when you're on a massage table, your muscles are still being pulled by gravity, even though it feels amazing and you don't feel that. This is the only time in your life where you could actually completely remove yourself from all sensory input from the outside environment, and your muscles and body gets a chance to completely let go.
Is that different than floating in space?
No, it would be similar, but the difference is it's even better than that, because even in space, if you were in the space shuttle, your eyes would be open. You'd be exposed to fluorescent light. You'd be seeing people around you. And so you still get the flotation, but you never get a chance on this earth to do what this float tank can do. And so it sounds just incredible.
Remember that movie that just came out with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney that I didn't see?
No.
Yeah, where like they lose her in space and she's out there floating around and the whole thing's stressful about him trying to find her out there in the middle of nowhere.
Really?
I think they should have just dumped them both in a float tank and let them have the same experience.
I know, right? It's one of the most incredible things. If you do some searches on YouTube, you can learn all about it. And people are, talk about it as if like, if everyone had a float tank or did this on a weekly basis, there would be no war. There would be no strife. There would be no famine. All of the world's problems would go away when people can really get into their mind and find out who they really are by laying in these tanks or floating in these tanks.
Probably save you a ton of money on therapy.
That's right. You wouldn't need therapy. And if I were dealing with any kind of chronic disease, boom, I'd be in there in a second.
I want to know if anyone out there has had an experience where they don't have an experience.
Yeah.
Or nothing happens to them because they're either resistant or they don't believe in it. Well,
we were talking about that when we went out to dinner with our friends, and Courtney was saying that, where she was saying it's really easy for her to turn her mind off. Remember, she was telling me that? And she was saying, I wonder if people would go into these tanks, because we're telling them about it, and not really have any experience at all. And I have heard people say that they have had that experience where they'll go in there, and sometimes it might take them 2 or 3 sessions to really kind of break down, get past the brick walls that you're talking about, that's protecting who they really are at the core. And then after that, they have these incredible experiences. And I've heard people talk about it where if they do it on a regular basis and then they stop, they almost have to go back to learning how to do it again. So they'll have a time where they do 1 or 2 sessions and it doesn't get them back to where they were before they stopped.
Oh, wow.
So it's almost like a practice thing where you have to do it on a regular basis. Then you can get into this kind of like theta brainwave zone where you're just
trance-like thing.
Yeah, you get into this trance and you can almost, you can go wherever your mind wants to go.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Oh, I want to go float with you.
I know, right?
I do.
I know. I'm so excited. Yeah.
When are we going?
Well, I don't know. Let's go soon.
Okay.
Let's figure it out.
I really want to try it out.
Yeah, because I have a feeling for me, I hear someone talk about something like this and they talk it up and they talk it up and they talk it up, kind of like what I've been doing. And I have a feeling that if someone talks something up, it's like going to a movie. If someone talks it up and then it doesn't really live up to it, And so I want to do a few sessions, and I have a feeling that I would go into it and I would just really have no experience at all. But maybe I would, but I kind of have...
That's the best way to go into it, though.
Yeah, go into it with no expectation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're just pleasantly surprised by anything.
Yeah. I guess you go into it with just the idea of, relaxing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because a lot of people, have these fears and they want to go in there to overcome their fears, or maybe they overcome their fears of claustrophobia or something like that.
Just letting go.
And when you could deal with your fears like that through a medium like this, it's not like you're going to need all this counseling to rehash the story over and over again. If you can deal with your fears in something like this, I would imagine it would just wipe it away for good.
You would think. It's on such a deep level. It goes...
Yeah, it's crazy.
It goes so many levels deep.
All right, you want to do some listener questions after a break?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, we'll be right back right after this break, and we're going to talk about the One World Way, which we should be getting another container of. We go through that like candy, don't we?
Yeah, expensive candy, but ooh, it's good.
Isn't it good?
In fact, we're out of it right now, and we'll be getting it hopefully tomorrow, so it's forcing me to eat more ice cream.
You're eating...
Coconut Bliss, dark chocolate. Tasty stuff.
Tasty snacks.
Yum.
So good. What you should take after that is some of the...
Digestive?
Well, the digestive bitters, but also the blood sugar balance from Michael King.
Oh, good call, because I just ate half of this carton.
Yeah, you might need a couple capsules of that.
Nothing like chocolate for breakfast.
So if you guys don't know, if you guys end up going out and eating heavy food, we like the digestive bitters from Vitality Herbs, but Michael King also has a really great product called Blood Sugar Balance. And the other day, I had a little bit too much of that ice cream. I took 4 of those capsules of Blood Sugar Balance, and it helped so much.
Did it?
Yeah. Which,
like absorbed it?
Yeah, it just absorbed it. I didn't feel shaky because, I get affected by sugar.
Yeah, and you just can't eat 2 spoonfuls. I saw you like hoarding your little pint in the corner.
I know. I'm sitting off in a corner by myself.
Like a little, I don't know.
I got put to the red line in school.
I know.
Line.
Yeah, you did.
But check out the Blood Sugar Balance by Vitality Herbs and Clay. If you guys end up probably good for the holiday season. If you end up screwing up a little bit with your diet, you can take some of these. It'd be really
if you
helpful.
end up enjoying your life and cheating a little bit, screwing up.
So if you tell Michael King that we sent you and you end up purchasing something, he'll give you free 2-week supply of a really great product called Earth and Ormus.
Yeah, that stuff is the bomb.
Really good stuff. So he'll give you a free 2-week supply of that if you tell him we sent you. So check that out. And we're going to be right back right after this break with One World Way.
Would you like to feel more energy and a better sense of well-being? What's flowing through your blood makes all the difference. In my 22 years of nutritional practice, I've found that the food and supplements taken into the body determines to a large degree the amount of energy and happiness people have. One giant step in the direction of more energy and happiness is the type and quantity of protein you consume. 2 years ago, I was introduced to a whey protein powder that gave me more energy and a better sense of well-being. Having struggled with low energy, this was a welcome experience. This protein is called One World Whey. It is the first ever undamaged whey protein powder from grass-fed cows. People report the following: profound improvements in blood sugar and energy, elimination of pain, better bowel movements, detoxification, younger-looking skin and fat loss. Athletes love the strength and endurance-producing effects. Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
And in my opinion, this is the best raw grass-fed protein powder on the market. It's developed on Amish farms. It's got 25 grams of protein in each single scoop. Crazy amount of protein. Increases your glutathione levels. It helps to release heavy metals and toxins, decreases inflammation all throughout the body, especially in the gut. And not only that, but it helps you build muscle and increase energy as well. It has tons of anti-aging properties. So really, really great protein powder. We like to use it every day in our smoothies. And our resident cancer guru, Ty Bollinger, what do you think about One World Whey?
Over the commercial there, you're talking about One World Whey. I want to encourage anybody that's listening, go to their website, go to Justin and Kate's website, and buy the One World Whey. That's something that we include every day in our diet. Every lunch, we have a One World Whey smoothie with super greens mixed in with it. It is fantastic. It's the best protein you're going to get. And as they mentioned, it's from grass-fed cows. It's organic. It's cold pressed. I mean, it is, you're going to get huge nutritive values from this One World Whey. It's the best protein on the market, I think. So then that's something that most people are deficient in is quality protein. So I highly recommend you go there and go to their website and buy this stuff. It's the best that's on the market. And I'm good friends with Stephen Hewer, who is the owner of Synergistic Nutrition. And he's a quality guy, and they have excellent customer service as well.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. We interviewed him on episode 88, and he's just an amazing guy, and I really love what he's doing. That's why I love supporting his work and love taking his products as well.
Yeah, great stuff.
And if you'd like to support Extreme Health Radio and the work that Kate and I do, you can get your hands on this One World Whey protein powder that I love so much at extremehealthradio.com/whey. That's WHEY. Or you could check it out in our store as well. That's extremehealthradio.com/whey.
All free shows, all the time on Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join our community today. Call using Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. That's 949-505-9585. All free shows, all the time on Extreme.
There we go. That's the right one. Gotta figure out how to run a radio station around here.
Just get you a rock for that. Every time now that you say that you're not like ideally performing in some area, I'll get you a rock for that.
There's
I'll
not an app
quarry
for
a
that.
rock for you.
There's a rock for that.
There's a rock for that. I think we should get Maggie a doggy float tank.
Oh, could you imagine?
No.
That would be the funniest little thing. She would not know what to do with that, would she?
Well, she wouldn't calm down. Well, maybe it would calm her down.
All that magnesium in your body?
Because right now she is just out on the biomat.
Is she?
She loves it.
Oh my gosh.
She tries to climb in the sauna. Like, she likes everything we do. I bet she'd love a float tank.
I'd love to see her jump on our rebounder.
Oh. She's tried. Remember how we're jumping on it and she gets all excited and tries to jump up on it?
That would be hilarious to see her jump on a rebounder.
Oh, so
she
cute.
just goes up like 4 or 5 feet high.
Oh, Maggie Bug. That would be so funny.
I want to let you guys know about the One World Way. That stuff, I have to say, is just so good. I mean, I feel so good. It feels good recommending products that you use and that you love. Because, it would be horrible to recommend products that you don't like or you don't use. But that One World Way, it's just so good.
I hate to use the word, but it is addictive.
It is, isn't it?
I don't have a lot. I'd like to think I don't have a lot of addictions, but that is one that I will gladly admit to.
It is.
It's so good.
Because you made a smoothie today without it, right?
Wah, wah.
Yeah, it was no good.
Sad.
Less than desirable.
It was less than good, yes.
And the One World Way is, I think, it's the first truly raw, grass-fed. Oh, look at that extension, Maggie.
Maggie's laying on her back now with her arms splayed out on the biomat.
Oh, man, I got to take a photo of that. That's hilarious.
I'll try to get one.
It's the first truly raw, grass-fed, organic whey protein powder on the market, which is crazy. I mean, this type of technology has never existed before. Did you take a photo? Nice.
I got one.
And it's just incredible because if you go to GNC and check out any of their whey protein, it's all cooked and denatured, and it's not going to be bioavailable. It's not going to be absorbable, and it's going to be less protein. This thing is 25 grams of protein with each scoop.
25 grams.
Which is awesome. Do 2 scoops and you get 50 grams of protein in the morning or something.
Dang. How much are we supposed to have a day, do you know?
I'm not sure what it says, but I usually do, anywhere from 3 to 4 scoops a day.
Okay.
I'll do it right after a workout or something.
Right.
And it's really
pump you up.
Yeah, I get pumped up. And also, I want to let you guys know about the Vitamix blender too. If you guys are in the market for that, if you go through our link, you'll get free shipping. Which is really, really cool because I think the shipping is about $30 or something like that. So you'll save $30 by going through our link, and it'd be a great Christmas present for people or anytime really to buy one of these Vitamixes.
Who doesn't want one of those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't go back to a regular blender, like I said in the commercial after that. I mean,
no.
It's just not happening.
No. We've tried. On vacations and things, they'll have some at the hotels we're staying at, and we're like, it's a piece of junk. Like,
yeah.
It just doesn't.
You're very negative today. This piece of junk.
I know. I need some more. I need to float.
I know.
Work through some of this aggression. Apparently I have.
Oh my gosh. So guys, check out the One World Way, if you can. And, if you're looking for a good protein powder, I mean, this stuff, actually, if you want, you can listen to our interview we did with, Stephen Hurer.
Oh, right.
Episode 88. And you can find out what kind of guy he is, and, just a truly amazing guy. And, I just can't recommend his stuff enough. And, obviously, the Vitamix, everyone knows how great that is. Mm-hmm. So, you want to do some listener questions?
Let's do it.
All right, you want me to go first?
You go.
Okay, Gustav writes in, hello, Justin. Are you familiar with the work of Roberto Kaplan? Here's a video of him talking about some books he wrote on natural eyesight restoration. Cheers from Sweden.
Oh, my gosh.
P.S. Love your show and what you guys are doing. And so he sent me a link to a guy named Roberto Kaplan. So we're going to look into that YouTube video. I'll post a link to that video on this show page. So thank you, Gustav, for writing in and for listening from Sweden.
Gosh.
Crazy. That's so nice.
I feel the love. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling a lot of love in my life.
I know.
It's amazing.
Really great. This community, the Extreme Health Radio community is just so... I don't even know what to say. They're just so nice, and they're so knowledgeable too. All you listeners are, I'll post a question on Facebook and you guys are coming up with stuff that I never even heard of.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's neat.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel very enveloped.
So encouraged too.
Very encouraged, and I'm realizing this isn't a show about you and I knowing everything. It's our journey. This is our documented journey of finding out what so many people know that we don't, way more than us, like
Right.
more than, I just love it.
And we're trying to create this platform. And guys, feel free to call in on our Free for All Friday shows. When we start back in at the beginning of 2014, we're going to get on the schedule of doing the Friday shows on Friday, so you know when they are.
Yeah,
but
it's my fault.
Feel free, that's okay. Feel free to call in. We'd love to have you join the show, so you can call in and join this community. And also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook too, because the community there is just growing every day. It's just amazing.
Yeah, these connections of people.
That's so great.
There's a lot of cool background things going on right now.
Yeah. You want to do a question, or you want me
Sure.
to go? Okay.
I'm not sure who this is from. You sent this to me in a little blip, and I'm not sure.
A blip.
It says, now this is what we need to hear and see. Real life experiences. These teach, encourage, and help motivate us to have confidence when missing, to do what we need to do for ourselves. Thanks for sharing this article and pictures, Kate. I think she's who is this
She's
from?
referring to your article, Sacred Space.
Oh, Sacred Space.
Yes.
Do you know who wrote this?
I don't know.
Okay. Are detailed directions listed on the website? Where did you get your enema equipment? Have you found a particular brand of organic coffee that does not energize you? My nervous system doesn't need any more stimulation. One of my goals is to get off Xanax, smiley face.
Is this a different email? Or
No, that's the same one. I think it was in regards to the enema.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Wow, so what are all her questions? That's
Well,
cool.
that's awesome. And I did take one for the team, as I wrote in that article and posted my pictures.
Yeah.
Because they're not fun, but they're real and they're raw. So thank you for the encouragement.
For those of you, if you're listening to this 3 years in advance from now, it's 2013, December 15th. If you're listening to this sometime in the future, look for Kate's article called My Enema Experiences.
Yes.
And you can see pictures of what came out of her. It may not
and
be
who doesn't
pretty.
want to see that?
Yeah. Worms
Yeah.
and tumors and all kinds of crazy stuff, right?
Worms and tumors and something. Oh my. And coffee. Oh my.
Yeah.
Hey, I should retitle it.
I know, right?
Worms, tumors, and coffee. Oh my. The blend of organic coffee that we recommend is from S.W. Wilson's.
Yes.
S.A. Wilson's?
S.A. Wilson. So let me think real quick. The link for that is extremehealthradio.com /
Coffee?
enema coffee.
Enema coffee.
Yeah, I didn't want to do coffee enema because that could be like an article.
Oh, right.
But it's extremehealthradio.com / enema coffee.
Okay.
And that's a link to the...
That's the coffee that we so far are going with. We stand by that. And
Yes.
a lot of people have had great experiences with it. As far as the energizing...
By the way, that coffee is recommended by Dr. Patrick Vickers of the Gerson Institute.
Oh, right. Yes, it is. You're
Yeah,
right.
He
A lot.
really promoted that coffee.
And his episode. Do you know his episode?
Dr. Patrick Vickers. Yeah, let me go on to our website really quickly.
Just want to be able to tell people.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in doing enemas and stuff like that, we talked extensively with Dr. Patrick Vickers from the Gerson Baja, the Gerson Institute in Baja, California, northern Baja, California. And he talks about, in the middle segment of that show, middle portion, we talked for a long time about the benefits of coffee enemas, and that was episode 185.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just 5 episodes ago. Seems like
right.
a lifetime ago.
I know, right?
And as far as the energizing part, in my experience, and I'm very sensitive to any kind of stimulants, I don't drink any kind of caffeine or sometimes even chocolate. Raw chocolate will wire me, so I'm very careful. The coffee, I've never had an experience being like wired. I've never felt like that horrible caffeine, shaky coffee feeling.
Have you ever felt it where it makes your heart beat?
No, have you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I'm
You
doing
need a
heart
stone
enema.
for that. Heart enema.
There's a stone for that.
There's a stone for that. Okay. Well, in my opinion, I was going to tell her that I believe I don't think it affects me very much. And I just don't do them right before bed because I get a little energy, but not. Did Maggie just eat something?
She's eating a piece of carpet. That's okay.
I get a little energy, but I don't get like a stimulated feeling. But you said your heart?
Well,
Beats?
I've felt like you know how if you drink a cup of coffee or something like that, you'll feel your heart maybe kind of start beating faster. Yeah. Just that, but it's really kind of minimal.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very sensitive to that, and I actually haven't had that, so
that's good.
Yeah.
Wow. So what else does she ask in that? Anything?
That's it.
That's it. Cool. Okay, let's see. I got a question from Isabel, thank you, Justin and Kate. Love your shows. I have uterine cancer, and unfortunately, if I had known 4 to 6 months ago, I could probably have cured myself. But I will most likely go ahead with a hysterectomy to get the cancer out of my body because I'm beginning to feel ill. I'm lying on a biomat as I write this. Maybe I'm having a detox reaction, although I've been eating clean foods and quite a bit of raw for 5 years. There's a lot of non-medical info out there regarding my problem, adenocarcinoma of the endometrium. Thanks for your great work, Isabel. Wow. Interesting. Isabel, if you would like to contact me with any questions, I could maybe point you in the right direction. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I might be able to point you in the right direction or in a direction that could be right for you.
Yeah.
And if you want to listen to the show I did, what I would do if I had cancer, episode number 126, it was just a solo show that I did, and I kind of listed out all the different things that I would do. I talk about healing centers and books and websites and products and things that you can put into your protocol. And I link to all these things as well. So, wow. So I feel bad. Isabel, thank you so much for your information. Let me know how everything goes.
Yeah.
There's some things you may want to do pre and post surgery that you may want to look into to deal with the anesthesia and to heal and recover from surgery. So if you can get into that and look more into that, I would highly recommend that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you have a biomat. That's really cool. Yeah, that's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, golly. The biomats are
please
amazing.
keep us posted. We'll be praying for you.
Yes.
I have one from Monica, going back to the enemas, I believe.
Okay.
Wow, Kate, thanks so much for sharing these photos. I'm about 2 months into consistently doing the enemas and have yet to see anything other than processed foods, seeds, and veggies. Probably the most eye-opening was pieces of chewing gum that I must have swallowed months, if not years ago. Crazy.
Really?
I agree that the enemas can benefit anyone. Not only do I feel an elated weightlessness after doing them, I really enjoy taking the time to be doing something for myself. So the time-consuming preparation is very much worth it. Thanks for everything. You guys are the best. Monica.
Wow. Chewing gum.
Awesome.
How crazy is that?
That is awesome.
You know, that is just amazing.
Well, that reminds me of the time that we went to get a colonic. And I asked the lady what the craziest thing that she ever saw come out of anybody was. Do you remember that?
I do.
And she said she had a man one time that had a tiny toy car come out during a colonic.
I don't remember that, though.
Oh, you don't?
Wow. Are you serious?
Totally.
A toy car?
A little tiny toy car. Not sure. Don't understand. She's done them for 20 years, and she said it was the weirdest thing.
Have you heard about those guys that eat like metal and air bikes? And have you heard about that?
Yes.
There's one guy that ate an airplane.
I know. Yeah.
Could you imagine what the heck?
There's no words.
Is it, does his colon look like? It's got to be.
I'm surprised he has a colon, to be honest.
Man.
Maybe I don't know. These people must have different DNA because there's no way that, if I ate any kind of scrap metal, I'd be dead.
Maybe he's a reptilian or some
Maybe
sort of
he is.
alien human hybrid or something.
Anunnaki.
Maybe he's an Anunnaki from Nibiru or something.
Just saying.
Just saying. Just an option. Or he's just a human.
But that's crazy, Monica. I'm really glad you liked the photos, and I haven't heard of, I'm wanting to know what everyone finds. So please keep the emails coming. It doesn't gross me out. And anyone tell me what your experience is because I'm interested.
Or comment on that post and post your own photos too.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. People should do that.
I want to see your photos, guys.
Yeah, because this stuff is, it's gross, but it's only gross because we've been taught that it's gross.
Totally.
We've been completely removed from anything that has to do with life and death in our culture. We're so sanitized.
Yeah, you're right.
So just post it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right?
Please share them.
And then share those pictures with all your friends on Facebook. Here's my poop. I don't know about that.
That's your status.
Yeah.
Here's my poop.
Okay, now we got one from Clover.
Oh, that's an awesome name.
Yeah, Clover Love.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's not a stage name.
Wow,
thank you, ExtremeHealthRadio.com. I wanted to pass this info on to my readers by commenting here. This interview is really informative in regards to living a successful life. He's commenting on our show we did with David Wolf.
Okay.
To summarize, David Wolf says that it's important to live life majoring in major things. He says putting your attention on things that don't matter to you, and I think it's incredible advice. He says it helps to keep values in check. David Wolf's advice about not wasting your time or life energy is so important, and getting connected to your passion to find success. In regards to diet, he talks about the add it in lifestyle. I think that's the most profound part of this philosophy, is really just opening up to new and good things. Naturally, it will crowd out the bad stuff. I also really enjoy to hear about how he thinks ahead like a rapper when speaking in public. That's interesting. Remember that?
Yeah, I do, actually.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Self-deprecating words set out a prayer for what you don't want. Be careful how you talk about yourself, informing your tissue, heart, and lungs into your body. There is a constant listening going on. The intent to upgrade your life. Muhammad Ali's quote, "I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was." That's cool.
That is really cool.
Isn't that cool?
Wow.
I love that quote by Muhammad Ali. Because it's almost like we talked about the Greg Braden stuff, where it's like you step into a reality that's an option in the quantum field, but you make that as a part of the physical field by stepping into it by your own belief systems.
Right.
Like you bring this reality of being the greatest into physical reality and manifestation by believing it and then by acting as if you are.
Well,
crazy, huh?
9 3/4.
Yeah, the brick wall, right?
Yeah. If you believe it, it'll exist for you.
Yeah, I love where he says there's a lot of listening going on, and your cells truly do listen to what your mind speaks. I think that's very
profound.
Yeah, so it's important to shore up your thought life and to not think about things that are going to bring you down or negative thoughts, And
I remember David Wolf in that episode too, talking about how it seemed a little harsh, but he kicked one of his friends out of his house. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah, because of the negativity, and he couldn't be around it anymore. And I've had to do something similar in the last couple weeks personally with a few people in my life. And it's hard. It's hard to make those calls, but when you feel like you can't entertain dramas and negativity around you, you have to take some space for yourself and not go down that negative highway. It's just, it's not worth it. And it just takes your life energy and your chi, and you don't get that back. And I don't have time. We can do it in nice ways and, not be jerks to people. Like David Wolf didn't sound like he was even being a jerk to his friend. He said, I don't have time for this. Like,
I just need to remove this from my situation.
And I feel like maybe it doesn't seem very socially acceptable to do stuff like that because you're just looked at as a jerk. But I think there's ways in which to do it that make a profound impact on your life, and then also set an example for other people going, wow, that person values their life enough to set a boundary. Like if they're honest with themselves, you know.
I think that is so huge, because in our culture, we're taught almost to let people walk all over us, especially women and guys too. We're taught to, people, authority figures who we think they're authority figures, or just friends. We're taught to stuff everything and not protect what's going on with us. And it's a sacred. Your life is a sacred thing. You know what I mean? It's a sacred thing. And in the same way, you wouldn't go into the middle of a church service and start yelling.
Right.
You'll allow people to yell at you or belittle you, or you'll allow people to bring negativity into your life.
Right.
And these are all things that are harming a sacred thing.
Right.
And it's almost like when, in those old Western movies where an intruder would break into a house of a guy and he had his family, you see him there, shooting this intruder with a gun, those big long rifles, protecting his family. Why don't we do that with our space, our life, how we live, our intention, everything that's going on from where your skin starts to being inside your body, your whole body. Why don't we protect that? But we just let anyone walk all over us. We let anyone just kind of bring their negativity into our life and affect us. And it's like, no.
Well, in my salon job, unfortunately, the last 15 years, I feel like I've just worn a sign around my neck going, hey, come verbally throw up on me. Like verbally vomit on me. Like I'll take it. And I'm done with that part of my life. Not everyone in my life has been like that during those 15 years, but I realize how it really does suck the energy. That's why the Qigong and things like that are going to be huge for me as I continue to go down that path. I mean, to restore and try to rebuild. I know I won't get it all back, but from here on out, I'm not going to be
I believe you can
taken advantage of like that.
I've heard people talk about you can, like Truth Calkins and Ron Teagarden and these people with these longevity herbs and things like that.
That's true, because I believe if you believe it, then it could happen.
And it's real.
Again, the brick wall. So even if it seems like a brick wall, there's, it's like a diagnosis. Again, it's everything in my life has just been turned upside down in the last few years. And I'm just not, if people tell me it's one way, I go, well, there has to be another way. Like that's not a definite, nothing is definite to me anymore.
Yeah, because I think if you could figure out a way to protect your environment and protect your mental space, I mean, that's why we don't watch TV.
Exactly.
We're not letting that stuff into our subconscious mind. No way.
Exactly.
That stuff's just
detrimental to our health.
Stuff will kill you.
Yeah.
And, we'll watch TV shows sometimes. We don't have TV, but we have DVDs and things, and we'll do that. But I mean, even that, we barely even have time to watch any of that. But
I know.
Just not allowing these things, either by physically removing them from your life in a nice way, like you just talked about, or removing yourself from them.
Right.
Whether that means getting rid of friends, or whether that means changing jobs or changing workspace environments, maybe moving to a different area of the office or something. All of these things are critical. You have to protect what you
do,
your life force and your life that God's given you.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it takes me back to an article I read in the Law of Attraction magazine. I think it was the last edition.
I don't know.
It's supposed to be displayed until, this month, but it's a really good magazine. And if you guys don't know it exists, you can get it on your Kindle or online, but or you can buy an actual print copy. They only sell it at a few stores, but it's the Law of Attraction magazine. But there's an article in that about how, people don't like you to change. And that's the whole premise of the article. People like you the way they've always liked you. And
they like the story they've created about you to always remain the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the minute that gets shaken, people react. And I find it very interesting that people must be seeing changes in my life too, because they're reacting different to me. And it's an interesting time in life.
Yeah.
And there goes Maggie. We need to get her a stone.
She needs
a rock of calmness.
We'll enroll her in a Qigong course. Tristan Truscott's Qigong course.
Oh, man.
I know what you mean, though, because when people change, they feel threatened, and their idea of you is safe. And as long as you remain that same little girl that was there 15, 20 years ago, then they're going to be happy with that. And they know what to do with that, and they can expect certain responses, or they can talk about any kind of deep subject matter like politics or religion or anything they can talk about. And because you used to believe like that, they
just assume you are the same person you were then, and then when they start to realize you're not, that scares them and they react.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite interesting.
Exactly.
Okay, here we go. Can I read one?
You got another one?
Our friend Ashley. I love Ashley.
Nice.
She said, okay, this was a comment on our Facebook, I believe, wasn't it?
A comment on our Facebook? No, I think it was a comment. It was I think she wrote a response to your blog post.
Oh,
I think.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
She said, and for the man that had a question about women leaking pee, I would suggest looking into the Makeda Valletta's work on sacred sexuality and strength training.
How do you spell her name? And we'll put a link to this on the website.
It's a woman, Makeda, V as in Victor, Olettas.
So how do you say it?
Makeda Valletta's.
Okay.
She speaks about using yoni eggs, which are essentially eggs made out of jade or quartz, and some other ones too. And they get inserted into the vaginal canal, and the woman does Kegels while this egg is inserted inside, and it strengthens the pelvic floor and the walls of the vagina, and this will help with women that have problems with peeing when they jump, sneeze, cough, have sex, etc. And plus, not to get too intimate, it will definitely help with your sex life. Men love it because it essentially makes your vagina tighter too. And who wouldn't like that? Mm-hmm. It's pretty amazing stuff. I have personally tried using yoni eggs, and they work great. You can find Makeda Valletta on YouTube, and she also has a blog. It's called Queen Lioness. as well as body scientist. She is a strength trainer and trains Olympic athletes as well. Good luck.
Wow.
Awesome, Ashley.
We'll put a link to that. That's great.
Ashley, you have some great stuff to say, I'll tell you.
And rebounding itself will help strengthen the pelvic floor.
This is very true.
So even though you may have some experiences with leaking like that during rebounding, but the actual act of rebounding itself will help do that over time. So
right. That's a good one too. Yeah.
Okay, we got one from Sharon. She says, hi, listen to your show with Chris Kaler, 166, I think. I went to his site and placed 2 things in the cart. Oh, the site was down for a couple days. I responded to her on this. Please give me your Amazon link to shop, as we shop there a lot, and you might as well benefit.
Oh.
Well, thank you, Sharon. The link for Amazon is extremehealthradio.com/Amazon, and that will redirect you, and then you can bookmark that and use it every time you purchase.
Thank you, Sharon.
Oh, man.
That's huge.
And then
huge.
she has some show ideas. Organite, we have made a bunch and put them where we can, personalizing the crystals for some people. Dr. John Bergman, chiropractor located in Huntington Beach.
What?
Wish we were closer to him. Faster EFT with Robert Smith. We have been to a seminar and we're amazed. I'm putting off getting my haircut because of all the smells in the shop. Can there be a hair place that just does haircuts with natural highlights, peroxide and lemon, and no chemicals? And then she says, I signed up for Dr. Jack Cruz's newsletter a little over a year ago. So much reading, I never got into it. After his interview with you all, I am super impressed and will work through the info. We got a squatty potty over a year ago. By the way, if you guys are interested, I want to just mention this real quick with Dr. Jack Cruz. If you go to extremehealthradio.com/Jack Cruz, JACKKRUSE, you'll be redirected to a special offer that he has exclusively for Extreme Health Radio listeners.
Right.
And he's got a couple webinars on there that you really should check out. And then she says here, she mentions the squatty potty. If you are interested in that, you can check it out in our store. We sell these things. Every house should have these things. Squatty potties are just incredible.
They really are.
extremehealthradio.com/squat. You like that?
That's pretty good.
You like that?
/squat.
We got a squatty potty over a year ago and everyone laughs and makes fun. Then while at our house, they use it and bingo, they buy. Cannot even tell you how many people doing craft shows and festivals. We talked to a lot of folks for the past 20 years. We have shared Essiac and Pau d'Arco info with them. Buy pre-measured packs from Herbal Healing Academy in Arkansas. The lady is very smart. Or do your own measuring. Several amazing healings have happened just from people who called back to tell us. We use peroxide everywhere. We can testify that our livestock is healthier and live longer. We raise all our own beef, pork, dairy goats, chicken, squab, eggs, and have aquaponics for veggies. I have ordered the animals a cod liver oil lick from Green Pastures to see if that will enhance the goat milk production and eggs. I am rambling. Thanks for help on the Chris Kaler problem.
Oh.
Wow, golly. She's living
on it.
She's living it, isn't she?
Good night.
Wow.
That sounds like a dream.
Pau d'Arco from Herbal Healing Academy. We'll put a link to that. You can also buy Essiac on Amazon. A good listener sent us a really great link to a thing on Amazon. Peroxide. Wow, she is putting us to shame here.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sharon. I got one more from Sharon.
Here we have some rocks laying around.
I know, right?
Just kidding.
And she says, one more from Sharon. I went to Vintage Tradition to order the balm. They're totally sold out, but they have a how to make your own page. I will go into the freezer room and pull out a hunk of grass-fed tallow and try this next week. We are so blessed to have these things. So here she's talking about Vintage Tradition, which we recently just put in our show. In our store.
We highly recommend it.
Amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's grass-fed, I think it's raw too, organic beef tallow with essential oils and olive oil and
slathered all over your face and body. It's super hydrated. It's amazing.
It's incredible. And
it's
she
incredible.
says, so if you want to go to extremehealthradio.com/vintage tradition, you can learn more about it there.
Thank you, Sharon.
Or you can look at it in our store. But she also says, we mob graze our animals. I'm always asked from town folks, how do you butcher an animal you raise? I cry. I thank them with all my heart and soul for what they provide for us, and know that they have lived a joyous life. The best I can ever see, and one bad moment as quick as possible. The dairy goats we milk twice a day for up to 17 years. Pass in their sleep. If given the opportunity, I sit with them while they leave and thank them for all they have given us, telling them they have given us their best, and we are so grateful. Again, I'm rambling, but people should know that just because we do butcher, as we don't like to purchase unknown meat from sometimes horrid atmospheres, we do consider taking a life serious, not trivial, not expectant, and nothing is wasted. Have a great day, Sharon.
Wow.
That's pretty nice. The sacredness in the cycle of life is pretty great. So thank you, Sharon.
I'm still working through a lot of the feeling. I mean, that brought me to tears when you just read that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about a lot of the animal stuff right now. Sad.
You know, it's interesting because, you know, some of the animals, like if you're in the wild, you know, like a deer is only going to live. It's not going to make it forever because it's eventually going to be eaten by a mountain lion or a bear or something. And when we dip into that, we're just really sort of, you have this whole circular cycle going on with life and death in the wild. And we're just penetrating that and getting into the mix. And probably will, if you hunt them in a humane way, you're there. When they leave their body, it's much more humane, actually, than being killed by a mountain lion or something.
No, yeah, for sure. That's true. I do get sad. I can't imagine being in her position I know how much animals, you know, when we go out and we get really high quality grass fed meats and things, I'm always really grateful, but I can't think too much about like the person who had to actually end their life, because it's really hard. Like if that was an animal I had connected with and knew it, that would be really tough.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
It's hard.
But I think it's important to not be extracted from the cycle of life, you know? And,
no, it's true.
And I think it's important to be a part of birth and death of anything. And it helps to understand that we really are grateful for everything that we eat.
No, her. You know? That was beautifully written by her to give a picture into that cycle and being part of it. And her experience with it. It's pretty amazing.
So you got another one?
I have one from Kira. And this is pretty amazing, actually, because I was taking a walk with Maggie the other morning before we received this. I heard from her a few times, actually, and I was out of the blue, the name Kira popped into my head. This is one of the strange things that's been going on.
I know, right?
And I pondered that name for about 3 minutes walking home, the rest of the walk. How much I love the name, how it reminds me of Australia, how I think Kira is just such a classy, beautiful name. And I thought, I wonder if we would ever name our kid that if we had a girl. And, you know, I just thought about it. And then we come home and you're like, oh, we got some messages from Kira. Of course we did.
I know, right? Of course.
When have I ever? It was just weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, she wrote, Kate, thank you so much for talking about your enema experience and posting the pics. I just started the coffee enema challenge, which, by the way, we have challenged people to the coffee enema a day and see how their life changes.
Yes.
I've been doing the coffee enemas once a day for about a week so far, and I can't wait to see monsters come out of me as well. Smiley face.
Monsters.
Also, did you ever notice your bottom getting sore from doing them every day? Curious to see if I'm doing something wrong. I also wonder if the coffee would be as effective if I were to prepare it at night, keep it in the refrigerator, and then in the morning heat it up and use it. Just wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that. Thank you. To be honest, Kira, I brew the coffee and I use it for about 3 days. I make enough and I keep it in the refrigerator. To me, it's helped I can't tell the difference between doing it fresh off the stove or the next morning. I warm it up and, you know, add my distilled water, and I've had the same effect.
Yeah. So what you do is you just keep it in the fridge, and then and that's what you keep in the fridge is the concentrated. So you'll add some distilled water to the pot. Exactly. With the coffee.
Yep. And I have had the same exact outcome. And I think some of the better exhalations I have had, is that a word?
Exhalations, I like that.
Have come from the coffee that wasn't fresh. It was within a day or two. So yeah, no, I don't think there's a problem with that. In the videos I've watched, they do say to make enough. I mean, you can't boil the stuff every day. It's going to take up your life. So it seems like as long as it's in a glass container with a lid and it's staying somewhat, you know, contained properly. Airtight, it's fine. No, I mean, to be honest, I have had times where I do get sore. Your bottom will get sore if you do them. Sometimes you don't feel anything at all. I just feel like it goes in cycles with me. I mean, I've been doing them for about 6 months now. And I have times where I'm not affected at all. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'll have like 4 days where it doesn't feel as good. But I suggest obviously using a lot of lube, like oil, coconut oil on the part that you do insert. And then afterwards, sometimes I take a warm bath with bath salts.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And sometimes you can even just rub a little coconut oil on the spot that seems sore after and just let it sit there for the night. And it actually helps take away a little of the soreness.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's really soothing. If you can take a bath with some nice soothing sea salts and just something really soothing, magnesium.
Yeah.
I do recommend that because you're not alone. I mean, anytime there's anything a little different than what we're used to, that can irritate you.
Yeah, and it's probably something that you over time get more used to.
I think you do, but I still have the random flare up. But I mean, I'd love to talk to somebody like who's Patrick Vickers, been doing them for 15 years. Or Charlotte Gerson's 30. I mean, these people, I'm sure that at some point you do turn that corner.
Yeah,
I would say. Good. But thanks for writing in, Kara. Oh, she also wrote, by the way, another comment.
Nice.
That was beautifully written. Oh, she's referring to my experience about my sacred experience on my blog. I am so touched by your experience. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. You motivate me to take my own silent retreat. So you guys can check out my posting on my experience in the hills of Montecito. Yeah, you posted some good photos there. Thank you. Yeah, and we're both going to be blogging on a regular basis. So make sure to check out our blogs. We're going to be writing on a pretty regular basis. My goal is to write every day. But it's going to be really good. We're going to share some good thoughts and stuff we're going through. Stuff that we can really get into more detail rather than a show like this, because there's only so much time we can talk on a show like this. Right. But I have one here from Monica. She says, I moved to Miami almost a year ago from California, and when my boyfriend came to visit the Coral Castle, because she's responding to my post I did about the Coral Castle. Nice. My blog post. The Coral Castle was the first place he wanted to check out. How funny. We were both big fans of your show, and I was pleasantly surprised to hear about your trip to Miami on this morning's show. I'd been listening to repeats all last week, thinking that I couldn't wait to hear live shows again. I listen each morning and night when I walk my dog. How cool. Aww. Wow, Monica, that's awesome. I love hearing the interviews you do and the updates that you share on your own health journeys. I'm excited to know that the Dayton Clinic is so close to me and hope to go to a retreat there. That's awesome. Wow, you're right close to the Dayton Medical Center. Wow, yeah. I would highly, highly recommend going there. Dr. Danis is just incredible. Too. And she says here, I really can't thank you both enough for all the work that you do in your show, or the work you put into your show. The information I have learned has truly transformed my life. I've finally been able to successfully wean myself off the RX meds for ADHD that I've been taking for almost 10 years. Oh my gosh. That is incredible. That's amazing. I'm not sure if I'll stay in South Florida for good, but thought it would be fun to change careers and go work with the Sun Warrior guys up near Fort Lauderdale. That would be awesome. That would be cool. Gosh. Nick Stern. Yeah. We did an interview with him. I think he was episode 72, I think. You've had a profound impact on my health and happiness, and just wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate it. And thanks, Kate, for the brownie recipe. Sincerely, Monica. Oh, no. I wrote her. Oh, no. I've written her like 3 times, and I've promised her that, and I never sent it to her. Well, she said she thanks you for it. Well, I think she's thanking me in advance because I told her that I would send it, and I didn't. Oh, okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, Monica. Before I go to sleep tonight, you will have that in your inbox. The brownie recipe. It's a recipe from Against All Grain, a cookbook that I love by Danielle Walker. Against All Grain. And there's some really great recipes in there, but I have doctored it up a little and added a little thing. So it's actually not my recipe, but it's a little bit changed. Okay. And I talked about it so long ago on an episode and told people I would do that. And, to be honest, my brain just got overwhelmed. So... yeah, the Coral Castle, amazing place. Guys, if you're in Florida, check that out. It's just incredible. We did a blog post about it and posted all kinds of pictures. And I have a feeling that Mr. Ed Leeds Skalnin was either from another planet or was tapping into some sort of frequencies
and able to lift 70-ton stones like balloons. That's my theory.
He probably had a float tank.
There's no... You'd probably put each stone into its own float tank.
While he carried bits of coral stone in his pocket that stood for strength.
So strength.
Superhuman strength.
And strength. Okay, looks like you have another question here, right?
I do have one last one from Colleen.
Colleen, okay.
My biggest health struggles are lack of nutritional absorption and oxygen in food. Just bought a rebounder. Hopefully that will help. Lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, stress, and aging.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Where do you want to go with that?
Yeah, so what does she say? Oxygen absorption in food?
Lack of nutritional absorption and oxygen in food.
Oxygen in food. Wonder if any of you listeners have any ideas about oxygen in food. Lack of nutritional absorption, I'd think like L-glutamine and maybe some mastic gum to help rebuild the intestinal lining of the gut.
So you could better absorb it?
Or maybe something like the Ajuva cleanse to help cleanse that out. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Oxygen. I know that I think Maggie's trying to get out of our studio.
I thought she just saw a big spider and was acting afraid. I think it's that she can't get out of the door.
I think she's trying to get her BALL.
Oh, yeah, we can't say that word.
Yeah, she will. She will try to get her want to play.
Oh, Maggie.
Yeah, I would look into like maybe green juices because those have a lot of oxygen, and maybe something like there's a couple products by Dr. Patrick Flanagan, which is maybe you want to write this down, Kate. I think phisciences.com.
Okay.
IENCES. Let's look that up. Yeah, phisciences.com, and he's got a product called Mega Hydrate, which helps to increase the oxygenation in the body.
Okay.
I know he's also got one called Crystal Energy.
Okay.
Which I think would help, as well as maybe buying something like a Vitalizer would help.
Oh,
because that helps increase the oxygen in the water.
Huh.
So those might help.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks. That was Colleen.
And wants to know if we know anything help for lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, stress, and aging.
Oh my gosh, stress. I would say doing things like meditation, qigong.
The emotion code work, maybe.
The emotion code. You can look for Dr. Bradley Nelson and Dr. Alex Lloyd. We did a lot of work with, or a couple calls with them, a couple interviews. If you want to listen to the one with Tristan Truscott and Peter Ragnar, that was episode 127.
Wow, good one.
For the Qigong. And I would stress and aging. Gosh, there's probably lots of things you could do with diet on stress too, like magnesium-rich foods, chocolate, or grain juices, really alkaline food to help calm you down. There's a lot you can go with that one.
Yeah.
If any of you guys have any thoughts you could add to that, what is this, episode number 190?
190.
190?
Yeah.
So just go to extremehealthradio.com/190.
I feel like almost probably 90% of the interviews we have deal and talk about stress and different things to do for it.
There's lots of anti-aging herbs you could take. I know the more you eat, or the less you eat, the longer you live. A lot of studies been done on calorie restriction and longevity. You might want to look at the Longevity Now program. Oh,
that's a good one.
By David Wolf, with lots of really, really cutting edge protocol. If you go to extremehealthradio.com/longevity, he's the longevity expert. There's all kinds of herbal teas like reishi and chaga, which are incredible. Lots of things you could do.
Gosh, there's so many options out there now, huh? It's hard to remember all of them right now.
Yeah. So that was Colleen?
Yeah. And lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, probably, I'm trying to think of...
Gosh, there's a lot you could do. That's...
for the anti-inflammatory and autoimmune.
Autoimmune. You might want to look at the Marshall Protocol.
Yes.
Look up Dr. Trevor Marshall out of Australia. He's got lots of incredible work he's done controversial work is too at that. I think it might be just the MarshallProtocol.com. I'm not sure. But there's also one called bacteriality.com.
Okay.
Just if you put that down, I can link it up. Bacteriality, and they've done a lot of work with low dose pulse antibiotics, if you can believe it, with autoimmune diseases and vitamin D, and it's all kinds of cutting edge work there. Lupus, I don't know.
Oh, lupus is something we haven't really touched a whole lot on.
Yeah, we haven't. So maybe a few listeners, if you know of any thing that might be able to help Colleen with lupus, please put a comment on this page, extremehealthradio.com/190.
Because I know a lot of people have that as a challenge, really.
Is that an autoimmune disease? Mm-hmm. Is it? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you stumped me on that one.
Okay.
So, yeah, thank you, Colleen. I appreciate you sending that in.
Yeah, for sure. Wish we had a little bit more to help, but hey, I bet everyone out there will have something.
Yeah, if you could
Not
just...
everyone, but somebody out there will have something.
Yeah, if you can put your comment on this page, that will help Colleen out. And you want to do a fun facts with Kate?
Sure.
And now join us for Fun Facts with Kate.
Oh, man.
Where you never know what the heck is on her mind or gonna come out of her mouth.
There we go.
There are no words.
There are no
we
words.
have to take that evil laugh out. I say that every time.
I know.
How to handle food cravings.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is talks about what you crave. If you're craving a certain thing, it tells you actually what it is that you're craving instead of the food itself, and what to eat instead of the bad food.
Cool.
So if you crave chocolate, what you need is magnesium.
Okay.
And instead of chocolate, you can get it through eating seeds, nuts, vegetables, and fruit.
Okay.
These are just simple ideas.
Yeah.
If you're craving sweets and sugary foods, you're probably needing chromium, carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, and tryptophan out of all things.
Wow.
And you can get it, and instead of eating that, you can get it through broccoli, grapes, fresh fruits, nuts and veggies, cabbage, cauliflower, sweet potatoes, and spinach.
And tryptophan you can get from turkey, right?
Correct. Yeah. They don't have that on the list, but we know that.
Yes.
If you're craving breads and pasta, etc., you're probably needing nitrogen. And instead, they suggest you eat dark leafy greens of kale, collards, etc., nuts and seeds again.
I wonder if you're craving those, you're needing iodine, because those things rob iodine from the body.
Oh, that's interesting.
With bromines and bromides and stuff.
Huh.
So you can probably get iodine from sea vegetables and things.
Oh, I know you can get it from there, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're craving oily foods, it probably means you're low in calcium, or you're craving calcium. Mm-hmm. You can get it through broccoli, asparagus, kale, mustard greens, bok choy, figs, dates, and plums.
Okay.
And if you're craving salty foods, it's probably that you're needing chloride and silicon. You can get it from celery, tomatoes, lettuce, seaweeds, cashews, nuts, and seeds.
Okay, I like it.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Who would have known, I mean, so funny how that works.
I know.
When you crave a certain food, you're really craving a mineral, but you don't know it.
Totally.
Interesting, huh?
That's why I'm here.
Okay. You got another fun fact with Kate?
I have a stone for that.
That's right.
I do. How to heal and help adrenal fatigue.
Okay.
The adrenal glands release hormones when stressed. We know that. Mm-hmm. Watching the news, caffeine consumption, emotional hardships, poor diet, chronic inflammation, and more make it hard for our adrenals to respond to stress properly, resulting in adrenal fatigue, no longer producing enough regulatory hormones.
Wow.
So you can eat clean. Poor nutrition leads to reduced vitamin and mineral levels circulating in the blood, and thus prevents the adrenals from working properly.
Wow.
You can exercise, of course. Exercise helps regulate our hormones and keeps our adrenals healthy. Mm-hmm. This does not include excessive exercise, which even uses up more adrenal reserves. Okay. So in moderation.
Yeah. So marathons maybe not good.
Maybe a little hard. Unless it's 9 3/4, and then you're good to go.
That's right.
Meditation.
Okay.
Reduce stress in your life by meditating and laughing. Learn to forgive, let go, tune into a more positive mind state, and learn that not all problems are actually, quote, problems. which I love that. We talk about health issues being health challenges.
Challenges and not
rather
problems.
than problems.
I like that. Good one.
And sleeping. Adrenal fatigue. Oh, look at me.
Coming up with a yawn.
I even hear the word sleep.
I know. Right?
Excuse me. Whew. I looked at a picture of somebody holding their pillow and their eyes closed and it made me sleep.
How funny.
Adrenal fatigue often results in disrupted sleep. Take time to relax before bed, breathe deep, and turn down the lights to calm the adrenals and help lower and control adrenaline levels.
And if you want to know about sleep,
I was going to say that next.
Listen to Sid Singer.
Mr. Sidney Ross Singer.
Yeah, we had him on episode 162, I think. Let me take a look. Mr. Sid Singer. We did a part 1 and a part 2 with him. Yeah, I'm correct. 162 and 188.
Good one.
We did a part 1 and part 2 on sleep, and he's a fascinating guy.
Sleep is fascinating to me.
Yes.
Who
Where
knew?
do we go when we sleep?
Ooh.
That's a question there.
It still remains
to be seen.
Remains to be seen, the whole gamut.
Yeah, so adrenal glands. Good one.
Yeah, thank you.
I like it. And let me close out the show, and then we'll actually close out the very end with a quote.
Sure.
How about that? Let's see. Is there anything else to get to? I think we've basically covered everything. Let's see. Okay, I think we got basically everything. Oh, you know what we wanted to do is next time we do a Free For All Friday show, I want to talk about our year this year.
Okay.
And what we expect for next year for resolutions, things we want to do with our life, or things we want to, just basically New Year's resolutions kind of things.
Yeah, I like that.
And what we learned in 2013.
We learned a lot.
We learned a little bit.
Quite a year for me.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. We should talk about that. Mm-hmm. So I want to thank you all for joining us on this episode number 190. And if you have any questions or comments about anything we talked about, or want to help just inject some of your wisdom and knowledge into some of those listener questions, make a comment, please, on our show, episode 190. So love to have you do that. And as always, you can always join the show live if you go to extremehealthradio.com/live. You can listen and chat and call in 949-505-9585. And we'd love to have you call in and join us on the show. And I just want to thank you guys all for being on the show. And if you could, it would be so helpful if you could share this show on Facebook. It's a really, really helpful if you guys do that. We really rely on you guys for that. And also, all of our shows are 100% listener supported. So we work for free. And so all of these shows, I work full time, and Kate is working more and more now on the show. And eventually she's going to be moving away from her salon job. And so this entire project of ours is where we're going to be able to pay all of our bills and live and provide you guys with great content. So all of our shows are free. We don't charge anything. So if you would like to make a small donation, we would be so humbly grateful for that. You can do that at extremehealthradio.com/donate. And that will make it free for everybody else, so they don't have to pay for it. And you can help all your brothers and sisters that way. Keep it free for people that really, really need this stuff. And that would help us as well. And if you want to just check out our store and you'd rather not donate, we have a whole store with products we're adding to on a daily basis. Lots of great stuff on there, and that also helps to support us. So
yes.
Please consider doing that if you have anything that you'd like to purchase from our store. We'd be so grateful. So you can check that out at extremehealthradio.com/store. And now it's time for the inspirational quote.
Before we will say goodbye, let's leave you with something to ponder throughout your day. Here's inspirational quote for this episode.
You can't change how people treat you or what they say about you. All you can do is change how you react to it.
Wow. I like that.
A lot of truth. Little nuggets there, right?
Little nugget. Wow. Say that one more time.
You can't change how people treat you or what they say about you. All you can do is change how you react to it.
Wow. I like that. Ponder that for a while.
I know, I will be.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
listening to this episode.
It's time to go for now, but our mission does not end with this show.
Justin and Kate will be back with another interview packed full of ideas, discoveries, and unique ways to regain your health.
Head on over to extremehealthradio.com/subscribe and instantly download our free gift too that contains cutting-edge strategies to start making healthy lifestyle changes today.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even as you educate yourself in the field of live food nutrition and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers or listeners medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition.